Hello, and welcome to the John Burns Construction Company tutorial on how to conduct a JHA from the HCSS Field app. The first thing you will need to do to conduct a JHA is click on the JHA icon on the home screen. After clicking, you'll be greeted with this screen. To start a JHA, you will click Add Activity, and then click on Templates. You will then search for your specific job task. If you cannot find your job task, you will then click on Start from Scratch. Today we'll be building from a general excavation JHA. After clicking on general excavation, we'll be greeted with this screen. First, we'll start with the basic information, so the job number, the location of your job site. Be as thorough as possible. Please add the exact location you are currently at with the zip code. The form ID, here's where you would input the dig number, whatever that specific dig number is. And you will write your CM or your general foreman's name down here. Then click on Required PPE. For general excavation, you need just basic PPE, so safety vest, clear safety glasses, work boots, general purpose work gloves, and a hard hat. Here you would put any specific PPE you need that day. If you have any questions about what PPE you need for a specific job, please contact the safety department. You will then click on Hazards, and here's where you will input the hazards that are associated with that task. So because we will be using equipment for digging and loading spoil, obviously equipment and pinch points are going to be a big issue. Overhead utility lines, we might be working near homes. Underground electrical lines, this is where that dig number and dig ticket come into play. Any falls from height, I don't think we will be experiencing that while we are excavating, depending on what height. So that's another question that this brings up. How deep are we digging? The health hazards associated that day. Any other hazards, specific permits, traffic control, dig tickets, any physical hazards, any staging, making sure parked vehicles are coned off. So go down the list and be as thorough as possible. You'll then move up to the steps list. Here, because we are excavating, we'll be digging and loading spoil. You could add or remove steps depending on what additional steps you need that day. You could add as many steps as you want just by clicking Add Step, clicking on the step, and inputting that specific information below. After completing all your steps, you will then move on to Tools and Equipment, and here is where you would input the tools that are needed that day. Be sure to include the vehicle ID number for any specific equipment that you'll be taking out of a yard that day. Please input any inspection requirements, so that would be checking the oil, checking any fluids, and any training requirements. The person who's operating this vehicle, are they properly trained to operate this vehicle? Here's where you would input that information. After you input all that, you are finally done, and you'll be clicking on Summary to view your final JHA. After completing JHAs, they'll obviously be completed below. You'll then be moving on to any notes that you will add. You can add any general notes here, or any signatures. If there's any employees that you want to include, click Add Signature, Add from Employee List, or type in their name to find that specific employee. You want to make sure that everybody that is below it has signed. So to add a signature, you just click on their name and have them input their signature and accept. Whenever you are done, you will click on the send icon on the top right hand side and you will click send.